Have you ever been at the bar and your friend is about to hook up with a really disgusting chick, but he's really drunk and there's really nothing you can do about it? You know it's a bad decision. You know it doesn't make sense in the long run, but he's going to go for it anyways. Nintendo, that's what you're doing with this decision. The NES Classic Edition has been a pain in the ass to come by. It's been very hard to find these things, and scalpers have bought them all up and have been selling them at high prices. And I've been trying to stay positive about it for people who haven't had the chance to get one and say, hey, Nintendo is still making these. There's still a good chance that you'll be able to get your hands on one of these. Well, that chance is now gone, because Nintendo has announced that as of this month, April, they are no longer manufacturing this system. All of the final supplies are going out to stores throughout the month of April, and then that's it. The NES Classic Edition will cease and desist. It will no longer be a thing, and you will no longer be able to find one in a store for $59.99, which means that if you want to get your greasy mitts on one of them, you will probably have to pay a scalper's price. Now, this decision is mind-blowing to me because the NES Classic Edition has sold very, very well. It sort of reinvigorated, you know, Nintendo's holiday stuff. It pretty much Super Mario Run and the NES Classic Edition were what made Nintendo money this past holiday season. Everyone wanted both of those things, and people, you know, took advantage of people. People bought up a whole bunch and scalped them for high prices, etc., etc. But now Nintendo seems to just be ending it, and there's really no rhyme or reason why. They've said that, you know, they've just decided to end production of it. And honestly, I think I know why. And it kind of disheartens me to say this, but I think the fact that the NES Classic Edition was hacked so soon and so easily, and everyone was able to do whatever they wanted with the system, I think that sort of, you know, just put a damper on things for Nintendo, and they were just like, you know, F it. Like, what's the point? People are just hacking this thing, you know, and it's crazy to think about, because Nintendo would still get their money at the end of the day. They would still get their $59.99 that, you know, it cost to pick it up in a retail store. And a lot of companies made a lot of third-party accessories for this thing, and you have to imagine that, you know, they probably have a decent stock of these controllers and extension cables and all sorts of stuff for the NES Classic Edition that are now going to be going by the wayside. So I think the whole hacking epidemic, and you know, I am a part of that epidemic. I did make a video on how to hack your NES Classic because it was cool. It was something extra to do with your system. I didn't really see it as a big deal, but maybe Nintendo did, and maybe Nintendo just caught wind of all these people hacking the system, and that's why it's no longer a thing. So if you want to get an NES Classic Edition, I really recommend you just scouring every store available in your location, maybe even travel a little bit, because these things are just going to go up and up in price. I expect these things to get really ridiculous in terms of pricing, because they're not making these anymore. And honestly, let's say they made, you know, 2 million of them. That's a pretty limited run for a system that's this high in demand. So I don't know, I feel bad for you if you didn't pick up an NES Classic Edition. What do I recommend? Well, there are, you know, multi-cards you could pick up. There are other alternatives. Hell, let's talk about it. The RetroPie. Maybe this is the time to get into the RetroPie market, because the NES Classic Edition is gone, and now you could just get into the RetroPie and put everything on your RetroPie, because everyone loves RetroPie. Who doesn't love RetroPie? RetroPie is the greatest thing ever. I hope that many people enter this comment section and say, hey, just get a RetroPie instead, because that's very original. It's very interesting to see people comment about the RetroPie. I'm just being a little sarcastic. But yeah, honestly, it totally sucks that the NES Classic Edition is over. I think it's a cool little thing. You know, it's small, it's compact. I could bring it with me to places. I could bring it with me over to a friend's house or something. I plan on bringing mine to Too Many Games and doing some streams with Jason in our hotel room with Nintendo enthusiasts, but it's a shame. So if you didn't manage to get one of these, you know, just be on the lookout. If I manage to come across any, for sure, I will just pick them up and I will sell them to you for $1,000. Hell, you know what? Mine is on sale. I have controllers for it. I have mine hacked. I could put any game you want on it. $1,000 US currency just for you guys, because I am that kind of host. I'm just kidding. If I come across any, I'll pick them up and I'll flip them to you guys at retail price, because, you know, that's what you should do anyways. You know, maybe just charge you whatever it costs to ship it. But hopefully you guys got a chance to play the NES Classic Edition. Hopefully if you wanted one, you ended up getting one, because now they're gone. Let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching this quick video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Check out other videos on the channel. If you want to send me some friend mail, my P.O. box is in the description box below. If you really like my face, check out my Patreon. Shout out to all my Patreon people. I love all you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time on the next video. Later.